Welcome back to Where is the Money? And apparently the money is not with federal workers. So as you've heard by now, the Supreme Court ruled in Trump's favor, of course, again. This time he has the full endorsement to go ahead and give the green light to lay off thousands of more federal workers. This time is HHS and the State Department.
New this morning, thousands of people working across U.S. federal health agencies are waking up without a job as the Department of Health and Human Services is moving forward with mass firings. The Trump administration made the move really less than a week after the Supreme Court gave them the green light to do so. A letter to employees now read in part, here's the quote, "You are hereby notified that you are officially separated from HHS at the close of business on July 14th. Thank you for your service to the American people."
They want to get rid of thousands of those people immediately. So with all these layoffs of federal workers, mind you, federal departments that are supposed to be in charge of critical infrastructure programs, that is the Head Start, that is public health, occupational safety, a number of different seemingly important positions. So my question is, how effective will these departments be moving forward, since you're pretty much cutting their staff in half?
Yesterday, Health and Human Services fired thousands of employees. Now, these were employees they gave RIF notices to back in April, and now that the Supreme Court has allowed the federal reorganization to go forward under the Trump administration, Health and Human Services issued an email to employees that had previously been notified and told them yesterday was their last day at work. They didn't give them till the end of the month. They didn't give them any longer. They said, effective at the end of business today, July 14th, you are no longer employed with the federal government. Thank you for your service. It's essentially what the email said. Now, this isn't only callous, it's targeted, it's harmful, and it's already been proven that it's going to harm the United States. Not only the employees, not only the consumer, but it's going to harm people at every level. It's so bad that Health and Human Services knows that they don't need to fire these employees. In fact, they've rehired thousands of employees that they fired, and now they're arbitrarily firing thousands more that they're likely going to attempt to rehire in the coming months. It's callous, it's shallow, it's not well thought out, and it signifies everything that Republicans currently represent.
So is that going to bring some safety concerns for public health? It seems it's going to be a very loose enforcement in these categories, considering they're understaffed. But you gotta let them go. We hear what the news is saying. We hear the full breakdown of what's still pending in court, who already got let go, who took the voluntary separation, but we haven't heard from the people. What are the people that got laid off this recent round have to say about it? What was their experience? What did they go through? Do they feel like the job market is strong right now? Any prospects in the jobs right now? You're going to go back to school, or you're going to change industries altogether? Let's see what the people got to say.
Well, it's official. We are actually living in a reality TV series called Scandal 2025, The Real Show. That's what this has to be called. So, first of all, the State Department is laying off 1,300 people. Did y'all hear about that? Well, now you're hearing about it. Because like SCOTUS has said it's okay to start laying off people. And here you go, Trump. Do with it what you will. And he's doing just that. So they are laying off 1,300 people. Don't have a passport? Well, it might take you a little bit longer this time. They were talking about laying off 3,000 or so. But from what I'm understanding, from what I've read, 1,300 were laid off today. Approximately in that number, a little bit more than that. I'm just giving you the top of the dome, right? That's why I had to go outside and take a daggone walk, because my God, today. Oh, and then by the way, what a shocker. The video of the Epstein dude, guess what? It was edited by Adobe Premiere and another editing tool. Well, don't you say. Y'all, come on, really? What are y'all doing this weekend? Who's frying chicken? Who's bringing over the lemonade? What about the iced tea? Anybody bringing in Arnold Palmer? What about some dressing to go with that and some pinto beans? Listen, that's what I have energy for. That's what I have energy for at least the next 2 hours. Oh my goodness. Somebody's at the door. It better be the future.
Now, her story is similar to the others where no notice, no procedure, just an email, fired, you're gone, locked out of everything, good day. So to say these people are frustrated would be an understatement. The State Department had somewhat of a ceremony, kind of, where as people were coming out and being let go, I think 1,300, they kind of had people clapping, hugging, and showing empathy and support to each other as this process unfolds. So let's take a look at that.
Yeah, Kate, I mean, these are employees who were told April 1st, for most of them, that they were going to lose their jobs. This was part of a huge reorganization of the Department of Health and Human Services that the department said encompassed 10,000 employees who were going to be laid off. And that was on top of another 10,000 they said had already left voluntarily or were leaving voluntarily, bringing the size of HHS down from about 82,000 to 62,000. Now, this included about 3,500 employees from the Food and Drug Administration, 2,400 from the CDC, 1,200 from the National Institutes of Health, and 300 from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. But there were court challenges to these layoffs, and they were paused as that played out. And as you mentioned, there was a Supreme Court decision last week. HHS took that as the signal now to move forward with this, and they sent out that email late in the afternoon yesterday saying by close of business that day, these folks no longer worked at HHS.
Now, I get the emotional support piece of this, and I get the sense of making sure that your coworkers that you've been working with for so many years understand that it's going to be okay, even if it's not, but they feel at least some type of support. I do get that, and I feel like there is a place for that. However, I have to look at this critically. Why would it be celebrated that they're getting laid off? I guess instead of taking it negatively, this is a positive spin on it. I get the value in that, but it just seems a little confusing because they're unemployed now, and the road to be reemployed isn't necessarily going to be easy, even with all the experience, all the degrees, and all of their skill set that they built over the years. With this job market, that doesn't really give you a competitive edge, unfortunately.
HHS continues to surprise me how disgusting and how low they can be. They just keep on just doing it incorrectly. Just because there's something in the courts, they say, oh, I'm gonna just send an email and then lock everybody out their computer. So this is what Jesus. So these people on April 1st decided to do a RIF, a federal RIF in the federal government. And doing a RIF in the federal government has checks and balances, it has a procedure, has a process. Needless to say, they didn't do that right, of course. So then they just sent a letter to us on April 1st to be placed on admin leave for 60 days. They didn't send out proper notice. They didn't do it right or anything. So then they tried to backtrack 30 days later and then send us another notice that didn't make sense, that showed that they found a loophole in the RIF process by making the competitive level smaller so that way they can gut whole systems and get rid of 10,000s of people and their jobs. And so during that whole 60 days, the court's been doing their thing. We're supposed to be doing their thing. The district court, they did their thing, but the Supreme Court were cowards. and left it back up to district courts. So HHS decided to grow some and decided to send out an email, not a revised letter, not anything that was substantial. Just say, oh, this is the court rulings on May 22nd and June 8th. Let us know that we can just do what we want. Yay, let's do it. Okay, but you're going to send the email out to people who are on admin leave, who are not online, who are not checking their emails, and do it at 5 o'clock p.m. when that's the close of business, and tomorrow, thank you for your service. That's the way you thank me? That's the way you treat your employees? Like, you already didn't do the RIF right. You already tried to backtrack that, then tried to do this, and then you're going to take away somebody's PMAP awards, which is a performance awards, a bonus, which, if you saw my previous video, that we were supposed to get for 2024. They decided, oh no, we're not going to get it. And by the way, FDA, right, I don't know anything about, I know other offices, I think the department, maybe they didn't do that either, but FDA said they weren't going to give you your performance awards for 2024. Then HHS, I'm going to put this on the video too. HHS tweeted, oh, that's fake news. Okay, but then you're going to fire us 2 days later? Like, and this type of layoffs are not only happening in the federal government, they're happening everywhere. I'm not understanding how cutting jobs is supposed to help the economy. I'm not understanding how cutting jobs is supposed to help anybody. Like, even you, like, you 1%ers, like, how are you going to get your stuff? Like, I'm not, like, what in the Handmaid's Tale is going on? It's crazy. It's nuts. And you will get it.
So all in all, good luck to these people. They got a long road ahead of them, getting their mind, their mental around this, try to fix their spirit, try to get into a space where they can reset, evaluate their circumstances, and figure out a game plan with the way things currently are. In the meantime, put your comments below. Let's talk about it. This is Where is the Money? Talk to you soon.